No one knew the burden. Part 31. Welcome. The burden song.
No one knew the burden. No one knew the burden that she carried in her heart. Do you wanna know? Are you curious? To get to know, listen to the narrative. I really wanna know how the story, how it's going. To get to know, listen to the narrative. Listen to the narrative.
Yes, you may. She led him back to the restaurant. They sat down and an intense conversation ensued. Tears could be seen rolling down father and daughter's face at intervals. When Betcha looked at her watch, it was 10 in the night. Nixon must be dead worried, she said alarmed as she took her phone to call him. His phone was off, but that was unlike him, she thought. She told her father to accompany her home. She drove into the compound, parked the car, and was just about to insert the key into the keyhole, and the door flung wide open. Right in front of her were Nixon and the children, looking worried. They hugged her and were about to shut the door when she told them to give her a minute. She walked back to the car and came back with her father. Nixon was shocked to see father and daughter coming in through the door. They have come together? How? Where did they meet? What happened? He kept wondering until Betcha cut through his thoughts. Hi, children. This is your grandpa. Pointing to her dad, she said, Dad, these are my children. She finished introducing both sides of her family. The children were excited, though they kept asking why they had never seen him before. Since the family had not eaten because they were worried where Betcha was, now that she was back safely, they were able to eat together with their grandfather. After the meal, the three adults continued catching up on their lost past. The question Nixon wanted answered was how father and daughter met each other that day. After the explanations, he concluded with one statement: God's ways are mysterious indeed. A deafening noise was heard outside. Each scampered for safety. After a few minutes, Nixon checked through the window. The police were hot on heels after a robber. Silence fell again as they discussed the insecurity that seemed to be growing in the neighborhood. At 3 a.m, the trio retired to bed to wake up to another eventful day. A day after the conference, Betcha and her family escorted her father Richard to the airport. Again, she bade him bye. She knew their lives would never be the same again. Chapter 16. Betcha knew she could no longer keep the secret. I must share it out, she said as she woke up one day 3 months later. Nixon happened to have walked into the room. She got startled as he asked, What secret, honey? It's about something that happened when I was very young, and I've kept it all these years, she responded. Don't you trust me? Please share, Nixon cajoled. All right, dear, let's meet over lunch hour. I shall share. I shall wait, madam, he responded, smiling. Oh, that is a palindrome, she said, smiling. Pali what? Well, never mind. I'm running late for work, and he bolted to the car. That morning, Nixon kept wondering what that big secret was, but he had learned that patience as a virtue was invaluable in managing his family life. They met at 1 in the afternoon, and after having a light lunch, Betcha bore her heart out. Honey, I'm glad I met you. I never believed any man could be trusted, but you have taught me otherwise. You have shown me that what love and acceptance is. she started as some tears threatened to meet her eyes. "Let me prepare my serviettes. I can see Torrance coming," Nixon joked as he put serviette tissue in front of his wife. He knew her well enough to know that any plans for going to the office that afternoon were now history. "I broke my parents' marriage," she moaned. "What?" Nixon responded, then realized he had come out too strongly. "I mean, how come you say so?" "Hello, friends," interrupted their geriatrician friend, Mark Lendo. "I have missed you too, but seems you are in an intimate discussion. We'll call you later." With that, he disappeared as fast as he had appeared. One day, I came home and found Dad's phone on top of the dining table. I took it and started playing with it. I was young. I was not interested in the messages, but by mistake, I opened the message log. Just then, my brother Maximo walked in. He started quarreling me for snoozing into Dad's phone. I told him I wasn't, so he snatched the phone to see what I was looking at. He found a message where Dad had written an intimate message to another woman. He read it and got angry. He started screaming at how bad Dad was when Mom walked into the room. She demanded to know what was happening. When Maximo refused to speak, she grabbed the phone from him and read the message and many others. She got so angry that she broke the phone by hitting it on the wall. Dad, who apparently had forgotten his phone, walked in. He saw the pieces and started screaming at Mom. I was so scared that I ran out of the room. The next thing I saw was Maximo walking out of the room crying and Mom and Dad shouting at each other. After all they did was quarrel most of the time. My father became so cantankerous. 2 weeks later, we left for Mombasa. Mom blamed Dad for all the problems we had. I knew I had exposed his secret, and that was why they had separated. She completed the sentence and wiped her tears. I really wanted to apologize to Dad when we met 3 months ago, but I just could not bring myself to. My emotions were oscillating between guilt and bitterness. I kept debating what the point was, since Mom and my brother Maximo already disappeared from our lives. However, the guilt is killing me. Nixon moved closer to where Betcha was and held her hand. "Honey, it shall be well. Now that your relationship is being restored, I know you will talk to your dad. Besides, I think you have taken so much blame. Please remember that adults make choices, and your parents made theirs, and it hurt your family. Maybe your action was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I think this is a great lesson even for us." "Thanks, dear. I'm glad you listened to me. I've guarded this secret for so long. I feel so much lighter today." Indeed, Betcha's face looked brighter, and her steps were much lighter as they strode to the car park. Later that night, she knelt down and asked God to forgive her and change her attitude towards her parents so that her heart could be free completely. "Lord, I wonder whether Mom, Mother, and Maximo are even still alive."
Richard's life continued peacefully. She kept in touch with Richard, her father. However, her heart longed for the day they would meet physically again. "Nixon, dear, I'm scheduled to speak in a conference in Ghana on March 20th, Betcha said as she got down to preparing her notes. "Oh, that's great. You could pass by Kenya on your way back and meet your dad," he said with excitement. "Yes, that's a good idea. I shall plan my journey appropriately," she said excitedly. For the next 1 month, Betcha planned her itinerary such that it would allow her to pass by her home country. She would check on her projects that were being managed efficiently by Dr. Kai, her able mentor. She would also visit her parents-in-law with whom she had kept in touch.
Betcha Bright was in Ghana. The chairperson's voice sounded loud on the microphone. "Let us welcome an amazing lady originally from Kenya. She has accomplished..." His introduction was drowned in the loud applause as the conference gave Betcha a standing ovation. When Betcha reached the stage, she noticed a certain man adorned in a black jacket and dark shades approaching the stage. Before she could speak, the security had pounced on him. Her heart pounded as she delivered her speech. Meanwhile, because of social media channels which were also transmitting the conference proceedings, news of her accomplishment traveled far and wide. Ibera Jr. Mola got to hear of it and decided to trace her through the contacts that were on the journal. He knew that he had to meet her soon.
On the last day before traveling to Kenya, Becha had a chance to go to the local market and purchase a few clothes designed in Ghana. She met a few Kenyans who had come to purchase clothes too. Her excitement could not be hidden. That evening, she was dropped at the airport and she took a flight to Kenya. The flight was uneventful until she took notice of the passenger who was seated in the seat right behind her. He kept talking so loudly to a certain female passenger, informing her of every stop. The lady, on the other hand, seems to be whispering. Becha stretched her neck to take a peek. Something about him reminded her of the man who had approached the stage when she was about to deliver her speech. Her heart skipped a bit. For more, join me next time. Remember, Jesus loves you always.